Hey, it's Isabel, and today I want to once again recommend to you 3 books that fall into a very specific genre or have like some very specific tropes. And today it is westerns that have been written by contemporary female authors and that also feature strong female characters as their protagonists. As always, this is just a thing that I have realised that I tend to gravitate towards, even though it's a very specific thing to look for. And I have a few books that I've read that fall into this category, and I also have some more books that I kind of have on my radar, but I will get to those later, because first I want to tell you about my 3 recommendations that I have. So in case you're looking for some modern westerns that centre female protagonists, this is the video for you. So let's jump right in with the first recommendation, and that is West by Carys Davies. I feel like I've spoken about this book a few times already on this channel because it is one of my absolute favourite books. It's a really short novella and it follows kind of 2 or 3 different perspectives. One of them is a young girl, and then you also follow her father, who believes that further out in the west of the American continent there are still dinosaurs alive. And he decides to leave his home to go and find these dinosaurs. And the young girl is left behind, and her mother has already died. So she's left kind of without a parental or like protective figure in these really kind of troubling times. And what I really like about this one is that it's written in these kind of really short, sharp chapters. It's kind of a calm, simple story, but I really like watching the story unfold every time I reread it, even though I already know where it leads to, but I feel like it's just so fascinating to follow. And it also really pulls you in and, yeah, makes you believe that you really are living during these times for a few hours. And I also really love the character of the young girl. I think her name is Bess, because she's a really great character, and I really enjoy seeing how she reacts to the circumstances that she's put through. And yeah, I just find it a really enchanting story that I really like to reread time and time again. The next book is quite similar to that, and it's also one that I've talked about before because it's one of my absolute favourites, and it is The Witchway Tree by Elizabeth Crook. This one similarly has a young girl as a protagonist, and also her brother. Again, their father, right at the start, in this case, dies. And again, the mother has been dead for a while, and these children are kind of left to their own devices in this Wild West setting. And in this one, the girl, her main goal is to find and kill a panther, because the panther has a few years back killed her mother. So she's a really headstrong girl who knows what she wants and won't let anyone stop her from going out and killing that panther. And again, I absolutely love the protagonist in this one, and also the other characters. There are some quite quirky, fun characters in this one that I really enjoyed following. And again, like West, this is kind of an adventure story, obviously a western, but having this young female protagonist really gives it kind of a twist and a different perspective to maybe other westerns. And then the last recommendation that I have is not only different from other westerns because it has a female protagonist, well, multiple actually, but also because it is a graphic novel. And the one that I want to recommend is Pretty Deadly. This one has multiple volumes. I especially would recommend volume 1 if you're looking for a western, because this volume follows the daughter of Death, and also some other characters that reappear again in the later volumes, but this one is specifically set in a Wild West setting. And it's kind of hard to describe the plot of this one because it has some magical fantasy-ish elements to it. It has these characters called Reapers who go around and kill people. Death has kind of a garden that is an actual place where people go when they die. So yeah, it has quite a complex storyline, but also a really beautiful one, and it's also just gorgeous to look at. Let me find you some examples, because I also always like to look at examples in graphic novels. This, for example, is the beginning page, and then we also have some more pages just to give you an impression. It's also going with the kind of convoluted storyline. You don't just have like panel after panel, they're quite interwoven, and that's also the way the story is told. You often get kind of a story within the story, or like people telling other people a story, and then this kind of takes over, and then you like switch back to the main level story. And all in all, I think it's just a gorgeous piece of art and also a really great story. So if you're a bit fed up with the genre and want to try something new, maybe give this graphic novel a shot. And those are the 3 books that I wanted to recommend. Now, because this is a genre or like trope, I'm not quite sure which one, maybe both, anyway, that I quite like to read, I thought I'd also quickly talk about the books that I kind of have on my radar that I want to get to in the future, in case you are also interested in the genre. So I have 3 that just kind of came to my mind when I thought about what I want to read next in the kind of female-led Western genre. And I actually don't know a lot about them, except for that they are written by women and also center female characters and are also Westerns. And I also don't really want to know too much going into them, but all of them I've heard really good things about. So one of the ones that I've had on my radar for a while is How Much of These Hills is Gold, and also Upright Women Wanted. And one that only came out recently and that I feel like I will have to pick up in the future is Outlawed by Anna North. Those all sound really amazing and like they fit this genre. On that note, if you have any books that you really like and that you think would also kind of belong to this category, please let me know, because I'm always looking for more books in this category to read. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!